make a start. Just before I jump in, I just want to quickly allow somebody to say hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Some of you have met my mum. Most of you have met my mum before.
yes.
Julia.
Hello.
Good to see you all.
Okay. So in a second, I'll just give everybody the chance to introduce themselves, because I know that not everybody knows each other here, but it's really nice and great to have you all on board. Thanks for joining us. So just to give you a bit of a summary of what's going to happen, we're all crew members basically, and friends of the expedition who've been on board since Tunisia, or in between Tunisia and America. And for this meeting, it's basically just an opportunity for us all to check in with each other and share an experience or story from the expedition. So, two things I just want to bring to everyone's attention before we do that. Firstly, if you have a look at Shayma's screen, you'll notice that she's got the ship in the background. How are you doing, Shayma?
Good, good. How are you guys?
Very well, very well. And secondly, there are also a few faces you might not recognize. So you'll notice, for example, that we've got Ian Bond, and he's also joined by Marcus, who's another crew member, but on a previous leg of the expedition. Marcus is famous for building the sturdy and robust toilet that most of us have had on.
I lost it already.
Thank you for that.
And there's also
Pleasure.
See you, Marcus.
And there's also a couple of other honorary crew members. You'll see that we've got Habib Shamoun, Thomas Abraham, and Hassan Anarij. I'll allow them to introduce themselves as well, but just so you're aware of that. So, without further ado, let's make a little start. So, let's begin with you, Habib, if that's okay.
Well, you might be wondering why he has a tie on Saturday, right? Well, I'm teaching business this way. You know, I'm teaching MBA students, and I'm a professor. And the reason I'm here is because PIRC, you know, Phoenician International Research Center, I've been honored to be the honorary president. Now, Remy is the one that's supposed to be doing all the work, right? And we've been involved in the expedition for a long time. And since you guys went over with Dr. Nick Kawashi and so on, and but I'm a professor of business, and I've been studying the Phoenicians for a long time as far as business models, and that's what I do. I transmit that in business schools around the world, and so that people know why they were so great, not only as shipbuilders, but great commerce and business people. You know, that's in a nutshell what I do. So.
Thanks, Habib. I'll introduce myself. You all know me, but my name's Charlie, and I've been on board the expedition for the whole time. And yeah, nice to be here. Okay, we'll go next to Philip.
Well, yeah, again, you all know me, and I'll say a few words a bit later. Do you want me to say what I was going to say now, Charlie?
Just a short hello now. Just basically okay. A quick mic test.
Well, it's a short mic test. Hi, everyone, and yeah, I'm glad everyone's here. It's fantastic. So, and thanks, Remy, for the idea. It's a great idea. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Okay, let's go next to Vera.
Hi, everybody. I'm Vera from Brazil. I'm say thank you to Phillip because I enjoy a lot the second time in Phoenician's boat. Thank you very much. And Yuri and I, we doing the documentary for all everybody.
Great. Oh, and Vera, one thing that I forgot to ask everybody: could you also just tell us the country that you're talking to us from as well? I know, Habib, you're in the States. Philip and I are in the UK. Where are you?
I'm from Brazil, and you're in behind me in the green door. He's talk later with you.
Ah, you're in separate rooms.
Yes.
Very romantic.
We work separated. It's better.
Was it this way before the confinement, or is this a new setup you guys have?
No, we always work like that.
Okay, let's go to Steiner.
Hello everybody, I'm Steinar from Norway. At the moment I'm in the west side of Norway where it's still snowing and the spring is being delayed. I have been on board Phoenicia from Tunis to all the way over to Miami. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, and Yuri.
Hi everybody. Yeah, I'm Yuri. I joined also in Tunisia, went all the way to to Americas, and also with Philip we did the trip around Africa in 2008 to 2010. I'm in Brazil with Vera.
And Max. Hey.
Hello everyone. I'm talking from London, from the UK, and I joined the expedition in Morocco. Went all the way to the Dominican Republic, and then I had to depart there, and the boat went on to America and on to great things. But what a great journey and adventure we're all part of, and it's nice to reminisce and see all the faces that were part of our lives for a few months ago. But yeah, good stuff.
Good to see you, Max. Hello, Edwin.
Hello. My name's Edwin Messenger, and I'm a Dorset farmer, and I was lucky to be on the expedition from Tunis to Gibraltar. I wish I'd gone all the way now, if it'd been possible. But hey, it still has the boat, yes. So.
Great to see you, Edwin. Let's go next to Ian and Marcus.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'm one of the lightweights who didn't get very far. I went from, where was it? Gibraltar to Essaouira. Although I was, unfortunately, one of the crew that went across the Mediterranean the previous time round, where we had the record-breaking slow journey. But we made better progress when I was on board this time round. So, yeah, and I'm calling from the UK. And Marcus is here.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I went from the previous, I was sort of delivery crew to get it down to, it was meant to be Gibraltar, but we didn't get that far as stuff kept breaking, unfortunately. But it was great fun, really good. A lot of time spent in port, unfortunately, but it was a great time.
Good to see you. Good to see you both. Hello, Boyd.
Yes, hi everybody. I'm joining you from the mountain states of Utah in the United States. It's beautiful springtime here, and I was on the voyage from Tunisia to Cadiz, and spent all of 7 weeks with my other travels on this voyage. Really loved it. It's defined a significant part of my life, and it's changed it in a lot of ways. And it's been fantastic for me to study and learn from this experience from many of you. And yeah, that's all. So good to see everybody again.
And hello to Moran.
Hi, Maran from the Netherlands, and I was on board from Gibraltar to America.
Hello, Moran. And hello to our honorary day skipper, Thomas Abraham.
Yeah, well, I think I had the shortest trip. I went from Fisher Island, which we were about a minute away from not leaving the port, to Coconut Grove. And I had the most important duty there. That was the bilge pump, I think. I was pumping away until Moran told me that there was no water coming out of the place. So I think they fired me after that. And I'm from Miami. Well,
great. Thanks for joining us, Tom. And over to Remy.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all again. Just want to repeat what everybody said. It's great to see your faces, everyone. Another thank you to Captain Beale. I really want to say this has been the experience of my lifetime. I think it was, I would say, the best trip ever, to put it shortly. And yeah, it's great to see you all again. I since moved to France from the States to France right before the lockdown started, and I'm doing very well here, eating good cheese and enjoying a little bit of wine from time to time.
Hi, Ray. Hi.
Good to see your face, smiling Captain.
So Ray joined us from Gibraltar, and you came down to Essaouira. if I remember correctly.
That's correct. That's it. Second leg.
And Arij.
Hi, everybody. Very happy to see you here, all of you. So, Arij from Tunisia, president of Club Didan of Carthage. So, that's it.
And when the ship arrived in, when the ship started the expedition in Tunisia, Arij and Club Didan hosted us and showed us the wonders of Tunisia and Carthage. And we're very grateful to them for looking after us there. Good to see you, Arij. Hello to Shaima.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shaima from Lebanon. And I joined the expedition from Gibraltar to Tunis. And then I went back to Beirut, and I was supposed to stay there. But I decided to get back, and the captain allowed me to come back to cross the Atlantic all the way to America. And I am still with the ship, as you can see. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it's beautiful weather over here.
And finally, Ghassan.
How are you? Well, this is Ghassan from Tunisia. I live near this legendary city of Carthage. I've been always fascinated by the remarkable Phoenician and Carthaginian civilization since the age of 14. It's a very long love story. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to be part of the crew, but we've been honored to be part of the team that organized the cruise journey in Carthage here that spent with us 7 days. It's been an unforgettable journey for all of us. We learned so much from each other, and we try to make this journey as memorable as possible for everyone. I've also been extensively researching for the last 12 years one of the most emblematic products of the Phoenicians and Carthaginians, which is the Tyrian purple dye. And this is, in my own way, this is my own way to revive some of the aspects of this magnificent civilization. Thank you.
Thanks, Ghassan, and thanks for joining us. Okay, so let's firstly go over to...
Charlie.
Yes.
Can I interrupt for a moment? We forgot to invite a very important crew member. Can I put him on? I have him here.
Yeah, please go.
So you can all say hello to him. Please say hello to the last crew member.
Oh,
no. So cute.
Oh, no.
Where is your face now? Where is he?
I believe he swam back to, he must have swam back to Tunisia.
He's there. Almost get there.
Not there. Okay, if we could all, if we could go over to Captain Phillip to give us a bit of an update, that would be great.
Hi, everyone. First of all, just a very big thank you to everyone, because you guys all made the expedition happen. And obviously without you, it wouldn't have happened. So, and I think we can be all justly proud of what we achieved. So thank you for that. As you just seen from Shaima's recording, the boat is currently in a private berth. It's just at the back of a house where Shaima's currently staying, and a private berth in Fort Lauderdale. I was reflecting earlier, I think the inland waterways of Fort Lauderdale caused us more challenges and problems than actually we had probably the whole way across the Atlantic. So, and particularly the last couple of miles getting to this berth where the boat is now was, slightly problematic, but, and a little bit of wood came off the boat at that point, but I won't dwell on that. The boat's going to be there for the foreseeable future. There are 3 groups that are interested in potentially providing a home for it. In fact, they're all represented here this afternoon. So in no particular order, Tom has an idea to create a major international maritime museum in Miami, which could potentially house the Phoenicia and lots of other boats. So that's one idea. There's also interest from Boyd and his group in Utah potentially to provide a home for the boat. And last but not least, Habib has a group of Lebanese friends and contact who would dearly love the boat, as I understand it, to be housed back in the Lebanon, perhaps right not now, but maybe in the future. So, but obviously, you know, the issue with the virus is that everything's pretty much stopped, everybody's plans. Nobody could have imagined, you know, a few months ago what has happened to the world in the last few weeks. So those plans are sort of pretty much on hold until we, you know, can work out how best to provide a home for Phoenicia. If we can't work that out, then, you know, there is a sort of fallback position. We could sail the boat back next summer to the UK, and there's a number of, you know, amusement parks that could sort of hold her here. But we'll see how we go. So that's, you know, probably the most important thing that I'm working on. The second thing I'm working on is a book about the expedition. Sort of working title is Columbus Last, Phoenicians Before. You know, the story of the Atlantic voyage of the Phoenicia. That's, you know, what I'm working on, and I'm putting together, if you like, the historic background to the expedition, how the Phoenicians started to expand into the Atlantic, the interesting, you know, all the information that's coming to light about pre-Columbian voyages from Europe and North Africa and West Africa. It'll include that, and about the contacts and things, the potential contacts with America, and then of course the story about the expedition itself. So I'm hoping to get that done and published by the end of the year, by which time hopefully we'll be able to go out and talk about it, and to do lectures and stories about the expedition, and you know, do publicity, which we've been stopped from doing, obviously, because of the virus. So that's that. And I've also got an idea to produce like a coffee table book with the 100 most interesting pictures of the expedition, and to select those pictures, a tiny little bit of narrative with the pictures, and to produce a sort of coffee table book. So that's something else I've got in the works. But and, you know, apart from everything else, obviously I'm keeping busy, but that's a bit of an update from me.
So yeah, we're each going to have about 3 minutes just to talk about you know, a story or something that some reflection about the expedition. And I was thinking about exactly what I could talk to you all about. And I thought I'd go for a slightly different angle because, you know, we've all got lots of stories and some of them may be similar, but I thought I'd try and take a slightly different angle. As you can probably see, I've had a good shave and a good hair trim, you know, preparing for this meeting, because I know how important it is to you know, get tarted up for these kind of things, and there haven't been many opportunities recently. And actually, before I talk a little bit more about that, I saw a nice article in the paper advertising a trouser press, a Coronaby trouser press. This new model from the classic Corby range is designed for the Zoom-conscious customer in the COVID age. Just place the trouser press in the middle of your carefully curated Zoom background, and everyone will assume that you're wearing trousers with the sharpest of creases, and not last week's pajamas. So, in terms of, you know, shaving, hair, I thought I'd take that kind of angle because as I had to order myself a new razor online, because the last time it was in use, Shema was shaving my hair on the ship when we were crossing the Atlantic, and the whole thing actually fell into the water. So my shave is actually floating around in the Caribbean Sea somewhere. So I ordered a new one, and it made me think of all the great facial hair that was produced during the expedition, and I just wanted to show a bit of a comparison, show a couple of slides that, you know, compare what people look like with and without facial hair, because I know there's a lot of debate you know, for who had the, you know, whether people look better with or without facial hair. And I'm sorry I haven't included everyone. You'll see this is the haircut that Shema gave me when we were crossing the Atlantic. It didn't go very well, and she ended up having to tidy it up a little bit. And I had this funny haircut. This is what I look like without a beard. I'm on the right. And this is what I look like with a beard. So that was my effort after crossing the Atlantic. I just want to give a shout out to some of the people who never actually grew any facial hair. They were very well kept. So this is Edwin. Definitely deserves an award. Maybe joint with Yuri for the best hygiene, always keeping himself well kept. So Edwin and Yuri, I'm showing your faces on here without beards because I'm afraid that's all I can do. Always keep yourself very clean shaven. And another person that did that very well was, of course, David, who unfortunately can't join us today. Okay, so next up we have Remy. This is him without a beard when he joined us back in England for the first time, looking very fresh-faced. And you can see how much he's aged in this picture with a beard. Okay, this is Captain Phillip. I'm afraid this is the best picture I could find of you without a beard. And then this is him with a beard. Okay, this is Boyd. This is without a beard. This is after we'd been for a workout in America. And this is him with a beard. This is Max without, and Max with. Very nice. This is Diedrich, unfortunately not with us today as well. Without a beard, looking very smart, and with a beard. And Aziz. Steiner. This is without and with. Oh, and you probably think, you know, maybe I've been a bit sexist here not to include, you know, I've just been including the men with their beards. But what those of you who, you know, didn't cross the Atlantic with us probably don't know is that a lot of you know, Moran and Shema actually did grow a beard on the journey. So this is Moran without a beard. And here she is after crossing the Atlantic. Shema, this is in the early stage of the journey. And this is her after. Okay. And finally, here's a picture of our friend Dearman, who isn't here. And also, well, another funny picture I like of father and son, Doug and Carsten, who also aren't with us. Great height comparison. Anyway, that's my little bit. Sorry, I might have gone over the 3 minutes, but right, I'm going to stop sharing, and hopefully we're back to where we were. Let's start with Habib. Sorry, you're in my top left.
What I was saying is that this is so emotional for me because since I was a teenager, I've been a fan of the Phoenicians, you know, and for probably obvious reasons, right? Habib Shamoun. But actually, you know, when this expedition happened a long time ago, that you were going circumnavigated Africa and so on, we got involved with the Phoenician Research Center, but I was more passionate about the fact of finding, you know, places where you can taste and, you know, touch and civilization. That's something that we still need to work for because, yes, we've proven that we can make it to America, but, you know, it's great. And I'm so excited about it. But one thing that I won't be able to do that you did is the courage to go into this great expedition. That takes a lot of courage, you know, and I congratulate all of you. You know, that's amazing. I mean, it's something like going to the moon, you know. I mean, it's like, I mean, you might be a little bit scared because it's out of your comfort zone, and it takes a lot of, you know, challenge. It's not the same going in a really nice jet, you know, around the Mediterranean than going on a Phoenician boat, right? So that takes a lot of courage, and I'm really proud of all of you. And actually, for me, this opens a lot of questions. And I've been talking to the Phoenician Research Center in Madrid, you know, and the professors there, because there's a lot of skepticism of whether the Phoenicians came to America or not. as fact of finding things, you know. And so, and I seen some things in Mexico and that look like Phoenician, but we don't know if they're Phoenician. But anyway, I'm so excited to be part of this team. Thank you for inviting me. And well, we continue doing Phoenician research. As far as business, you know, we taken the best practices of the Phoenicians and we practice it. And even and next week you will have some testimonials from my students. They didn't even know who the Phoenicians were, and they start researching, you know, the business students or marketing students, and then they start grabbing more interest in history, which is something, and it's like history with a sense, you know. For me, talking about the Phoenicians is talking about making sense in life. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much, Habib. And I'm actually just I'm sat next to one of your books, Negotiate Like a Phoenician.
Oh, yeah.
And something that I forgot to mention, which is very important to me at least, over the last, since getting back from the expedition, I've been working on a podcast about the expedition, where I'm going to be speaking to people that have been involved, talking about the history, the culture. And I've actually already had the chance to interview 3 people on this call. The captain, I've interviewed Habib Shamoun the other day, and also Ghassan. So I'm looking forward to releasing the first episode of that, which is with Habib, on the 1st of June. So that's going to be the release date for the first episode. I'll tell you more about that in due course. Okay, let's go next over to Vera.
Okay, I just say for me it's a very, very good experience. The second time, the first I stay longer than the second one, and to meet everybody and learn a lot with you. And for us, Yuri and I, we study a lot of Phoenicians, and we intend to prepare a very nice documentary about the second expedition. And thank you again, Philip, for this experience for us. And we invite everybody after the pandemic to come in here to Brazil to visit us and help us to do the documentary too. Thank you.
Thanks, Vera. The next reunion's in Brazil. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, next person on my screen is Steiner. Hi.
Hi. Where to start? I think it was 5 months with highlights all the time. Okay, some down things, but most of it was really good experience, and it gave me a lot of time to do reflection of life, and I also learned a lot about the Phoenician people, what they have done, how important they was have been in the history. And also the friendship, the crew, how well we were working together, everybody. I think that's one of the highlights. We are still friends, everybody, after all these weeks and everything that happened on board. Also tell you that the first thing that happened when I got back home was that I got divorced. So I've been moving out. So Beat and me are not living together anymore. So I'm looking for a new place to stay at the moment. I've also been in Norwegian broadcasting and talking about the expedition, and also about the Phoenician people. Also working on a lecture for schools to go out and tell about both the expedition and the Phoenicians. So and also the things I learned on board about the crew and the behavior and what's important on a long voyage like this is really good experience that I can bring to my next expedition, who will be the Viking expedition into Russia. So the plan was to train new crew for the expedition next year, but you know there's this small virus going on, so everything is delayed. So probably we won't be able to learn new crew members for that expedition before next year again. But you know, we are on in the third stage of the virus in Norway now, so everything is slowly getting back to normal, but it will take a long time. So I'm not really sure when we will be back to normal, and yeah, when we will be back sailing again. Okay, that was brief. So over to you.
Thanks, Steiner. Oh, let's go next to Yuri.
Okay.
Ah, you're
Can you
still
hear me
mute.
now? Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
I'm just joking. Sorry, I couldn't avoid it. Anyway, yeah, well, we're working on the material, like Vera said, on the material for the documentary. And we hope to have soon the first trailer. I mean, like we did for the trip around Africa. We put everything in 3 minutes. We're going to do the same. All the way from Tunisia to America in 3 minutes, going to show the best scenes of all the trip. And I'm going to use that material to sell the expedition. Something funny is happening. I mean, not funny, but funny in a way that's strange. All the market, the industry of cinema and TV is on a halt because of the virus. But that's opened a very good opportunity for us because now the streaming companies, they are buying a lot of stuff. So we're going to put this package together and try to sell the expedition, this documentary for the expedition. So maybe we can be showing a streaming service like Netflix or Amazon soon. Let's see how it goes. So that's the plan now. That's what we are working on. Yeah.
Thanks, Yuri. Let's go to Max.
Me. Hello. So I haven't really prepared anything, so this might be a bit of a ramble. But something that I just wanted to talk about was the like unity and closeness that we all felt after, particularly with the Atlantic crossing for those like 40 days at sea. Not in contact with family or friends or anything really. Like we had the internet, which was very limited level of communication with the outside world. So actually, something I do remember when we were out there is we found out the general election result whilst we were on the high seas. We found out that, was it Boris won or was it Theresa May? I can't remember. Boris got another term, didn't he? And we put the flag down to half-mast as a little mourning for it. Or was it Brexit? God, see, I don't remember. It feels so long ago now. But obviously, they come back to me now and again, these great memories and wonderful moments that we shared, for all that time. And once a lifetime opportunity, as we know it all was. And I'm sure we'd do anything to give it to go again and experience it all again. So I'm just very lucky and grateful that I was able to get swept up in the thrill and excitement along with all the other Phoenicians and Phoenician supporters.
Let's go next, if I may, to Edwin.
Well, I'm a little bit like Max. I haven't prepared anything really, but there was one thing I wanted to do was to present Philip with a picture for an appreciation of his giving us such a wonderful adventure for us all. And I wonder if he would like to accept it. Can I show it here?
Yeah, you should be able to see it, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
I thought he would not want something else than one of his blokes, so. Would that be okay, Philip?
That's Philip with the Bond girls, is it?
Yes, exactly.
Every Bond should have two beautiful women alongside, is what you're saying.
That's it.
Well, that's very kind of you. I'll, as you probably know, most of you, Edwin lives about 2 miles away from me, but because of the social distancing, we haven't been able to meet or see each other since I came back. But I'm sure I will better see you hopefully in the next few weeks.
I have heard that he's been hovering around the Sellers Return pub there in the distance. But
yeah, I haven't picked up my entitlement of grog yet, though.
Have you not?
No, not yet.
Well, I haven't a lot else to say really. I think it was a very enjoyable trip, and there's lots of highs, not many lows actually, which was on a journey like that. The camaraderie was amazing, and how people pulled together, and I just enjoyed it all really. Yeah, I think that's about my input, I'm afraid.
Great, thank you very much, Edwin. Thanks a lot. Let's go to the other bonds, Ian and Marcus.
Well, actually, somebody asked me after I'd been on Phoenicia back in 2012 what a highlight was. And it was very easy to answer then. It's very easy to answer now. And that is being on your own at night on the helm. That's it, really. That was always a highlight. And that and the communal cooking, that was always good fun. Not always successful, but always good fun. Anyway, that's always my memory.
Well, my highlight was, because I was on it before all the expedition really began, we had it was quite fun because every time you go to walk on the deck, a bit of the deck would fall through and you have to replace it. So I quite enjoyed doing quite a lot of the work on it. So building the privy, going up the mast to see why it was rotting off or some stuff like that. And I quite like the fact that quite a lot of my handiwork has stayed on the boat until the end, pretty much. So it's quite a nice feeling, really. That's one of my highlights, at least.
Yeah, thanks, Marcus and Ian. I know we're all very grateful for the heads that you put together. On this occasion, they actually stayed on for the whole time, and we actually had to wrestle them off in Fort Lauderdale when we were going down these just before we went down the narrow Fort Lauderdale waterways, because we'd have done some serious damage to any small boats. Okay, let's go next to Boyd.
All right. Well, thank you. Hey, I've enjoyed seeing everybody again. And Edwin, I want to say you were magnificent on the leg that you joined us for. And, you know, I don't want to date you, but I mean, you're a few years older than I am. And I would say you never, ever had issues. You were up in the morning. You were fixing the meals. You were on target. Great crew member. From the senior crowd, I really have to say hats off to you for that, and everybody. I kind of, getting to visit with everybody is kind of fun here, because I think it would have been great to be on more of the legs to met everybody and enjoyed getting to know you. I really liked it. I'm going to set my little timer here so I don't go over time here. I noticed nobody has used their 3 minutes though. But I probably won't either. But I want to say that for those of you that don't know, so I'm a publisher. That's my day job, and I publish books, a variety of different topics and so forth. And that's really what led me down this path to find Phillip and to find out about this expedition and so forth. And so the Phoenicia expedition has a lot of different areas of interest. It's got obviously scientific history, archaeology, elements that are driving much of the interest around this. But there's also, and this is kind of where I come into it, there's a religious connection to the Phoenicia expedition. And to me, it's been a fascinating study. And so I actually published a book that talks about ancient Phoenician people coming from the Mediterranean to America, to North America in 600 BC. Okay, and this is a book that claims to be ancient scripture, right? That was found in America in 1829. It was brought out and translated by a man who purported to be a modern day prophet, and he wrote this, or he translated this book from ancient records that had been hidden in the ground for 1400 years. One of the claims in the book is that people from 600 BC left Jerusalem and traveled to America. Okay, so obviously you can see the correlation here. And the really significant part for me was that I'm convinced that the second migration, that is Mulek, who's referenced in this book, was on a Phoenician vessel. And there's very strong indications that he was on a Phoenician vessel. But in this book, there's also a section that talks about the Phoenician Voyage. And this is actually referring to the first expedition, as you can see, going circumnavigating Africa, and that refers to one of the two voyages that are referenced in this book. So when the next edition of this book comes out, there's going to be another page in here that will show the same ship, but taking this other journey from Mediterranean to America. So what this is establishing is the possibility that the claims that were made back in 1830 by a young farm boy who had no knowledge of history or anything, but he's translated this record, these claims are actually being validated in our time. And so it's pretty amazing, and it's fun, it's exciting, interesting for me to take part in this. And I am working on a book that will also discuss this in greater detail. Hope to be able to have that come out later this year to talk about that. But anyway, it's been a great experience to meet all of you. I also want to point out this guy. I met this guy.
Wait, I might have to pause you for a second there, or if you just give you 10, 20 seconds to wrap up, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm going to do it right here. This guy, J. Stewart Wakefield, I contacted him after coming back from the trip, and he sent me his books all about ancient sea travel from the Middle East and the UK, interestingly, to America, all, more than 1,000 to 2,000 BP. And anyway, so this is a whole new element to the study that's all coming into this. But anyway, lots of exciting things are emerging from here, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Boyd. And welcome to Aziz, who's joined us. Hi. We'll go, Aziz, just to update you, everyone's just saying a few short words to reflect on the expedition. With about half of us have spoken so far, and we'll go next over to Maran.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Aziz. Mute you for now and go to Maran next. Okay. Hello, Maran.
Hi. Yeah, I chose 2 videos to show, which were nothing special, just something, I think, fun memories for everyone. So I think you can share right now. So this is Dorado fishing, just getting a swim at Christmas, and all the fishing we did, and some spectacular Dorado jumps and everything.
Should we try the other one?
Christmas on board the Phoenicia.
Merry Christmas from the Phoenicia. Merry Christmas.
Sorry.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
And I guess for me it's the same for everyone. I just enjoyed it so much, and it was so great to be on board and to get this opportunity. And for me, deciding to do the Atlantic crossing as well felt really great and empowering, quitting my job. And now I'm back to working in the ICU with the corona, and I decided to apply for a specialization for tropical medicine. So hopefully they will accept me and I can go out to some more adventures. But yeah, it was great just to meet all of you from all over the world and to connect, and it's a great experience. It's very hard to explain to people here what we've actually done. I mean, you can either do a short version and then they don't get it, or you have to do a really long version. And showed loads of pictures to friends and family already, but yeah, everyone is quite impressed. Yeah, so thank you all. Hope to see you sometime, maybe reunion in Brazil or something.
Thanks, Moran. So everyone agrees that we're super proud of you for getting back to work in the coronavirus ward. Okay, let's go next to Tom.
Well, I really don't have a lot to say. my participation was last minute. I was called and asked to see if I could do something special for the ship coming to South Florida. And being Lebanese, knowing that there were 2 Lebanese that were on the ship at one time, I thought it was exciting to participate and support it. But more important, what the world doesn't understand is just exactly what Moran just said, is that the voyage you took was historical. And the risk that you took was astronomical. The challenges could have been disastrous if you had run into some storms. And so there's so many obstacles that people just don't understand. And the fact that you sailed on a replica ship 6,000 years before BC, it's amazing. And it was an amazing venture. And just to be associated with you and to support you guys while you were in Miami, it was a great honor and really a great privilege just to hang out with people that had such guts, ambition, vision, and dreams to prove the unprovable. And you did it. You proved that a Phoenician ship could sail across the Atlantic. The sad thing is that the world doesn't understand that and can't appreciate it. But one day they will, and it'll come to life. We just talked about the Mormons, that they say that somebody did cross the Atlantic, 6,000 years before, or whatever it was. So the hope is that more information will come out about the real story of the Phoenicians and what they accomplished in the world, and that they did come to America. And what you've proven is that a Phoenician ship could come to America. And you sparked in those who are interested in the truth a desire to participate and help in whatever way we can to tell your story. And I'm committed to doing that, and in a big way. And I've got to tell you, my short trip and opportunity to sail with you, just standing on the deck for those few hours and sailing across the Bay of Miami, it put me in a time zone that I could just vision the experience that you had crossing the Atlantic. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so proud of the fact that I had an opportunity to be with such heroes of history, that one day your story will be truly understood and appreciated. So that's really what I have to say. I'm an adventurist. I would have loved to have been on that trip, and I'm going to tell you something, I would have been scared to death. But it took a lot of guts and it took a lot of courage to do what you did. And I'm so happy that you did it, because now it gives us all an opportunity to take that advantage of what we learned and to turn it into a positive story for the world to understand and appreciate. So from a Lebanese American, I'm very happy that I had an opportunity to share a small moment with you and to participate in telling your story in Miami. It's been a great honor and a great privilege. And in that tribute, I've continued to let my beard grow, and I won't shave it until, I guess, this whole coronavirus thing is over, or at least when we can all start walking the streets of the world together. But thank you so much, all of you, for allowing me to come into your sphere of influence and to share your experience and have an opportunity at least to understand the thrill that you had in crossing the Atlantic. Godspeed to all of you, and it's been a great pleasure to know all of you.
Thanks, Tom. You certainly look the part. You definitely look like you could fit in on a 600 BC replica ship. Right. Let's go over to Ray.
Good morning. I am Bob's local time is 10:15 a.m. Ill prepared. Woke up this morning, sort of typical Saturday morning here in Saskatchewan. It's Victoria Day weekend, so that means we get an extra day. Yada yada blah blah. I missed the first half of the program, if we can call it that. Very briefly, it was one of the most fantastic experiences of my entire life. Most fantastic. The first one was round one in 2012 when I got there by accident. I got a phone call on a Thursday and I arrived in Altea, I think it was, by the following Tuesday, and there I am on the Phoenicia with all these characters. We made it from there into Gibraltar, and the absolute apex for me was the fact that I was on the helm as we came into Gibraltar. The captain was up front with binoculars and radio, and we were under diesel power because we didn't have a mast. We had the diesel all the way in, and we'd also the motor mounts had failed, and we had a lot of trouble. We couldn't find reverse unless we shut the engine down. Blah 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 blah. Personally, exciting. Sailed past 36 ocean-going vessels to dock that cork. No disrespect, Captain. In the marina there, and that was just the apex. I foolishly left at that point, and I was lucky enough to get back on this last leg, and boy, do I ever regret getting off. I joined again in Gibraltar and went as far as Syria, and I had what I thought was an important thing to attend back in North America. The captain had allowed me, or said he could take me as far as the Canaries. I blew it. I came home, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, do I regret my decisions. I've watched from afar the crossing and kept quiet. You know, I'm not there. I can't say anything. I hope and pray for these guys that the cork makes it. And I guess it was, I don't know what it was. It was a phenomenal thing. So glad to be part of it. The bonding with the crew, instantaneous. I mean, we were only exposed to each other for less than a week, I think, on both legs, maybe 2 weeks. You folk are all very important to me. Memory of a lifetime. I'm thrilled. I'm honored. I got nothing else to say except thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ray. Next up, I don't know if Arij is there. Maybe we should jump over to Aziz. Let's go next to Aziz.
Come on, Aziz.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Maybe my connection is not unstable. No idea what is clear. But expedition is to me is for proof about globalization is start from a long time ago. Is when I visit Torhedal Museum is we look about pyramid all around the world, including in Indonesia. One in the picture in the museum there is some pyramid in Indonesia too, and then of course in Mediterranean and American too. And then the expedition is very interesting in when crossing Atlantic. Yes, the wind is very fantastic. That's thank you, Charlie.
Thanks, Aziz, and very nice new haircut. Okay, let's go next up. I've got Remy.
Hello, everyone. I have a few slides to show you. I'm going to try to be quick. This is a presentation I made for people at my work because they all wanted to hear about this expedition. I won't show you all of it, but just a few slides. This is basically a timeline of how the expedition started for me. It's basically my whole life in a timeline. And it started with a dream when I was 7 years old, sailing in tropical waters, a very, very unique dream. And then my teenage years over here, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I was the guy who would argue with teachers about Lebanon being Phoenician and not, not Arabic or something like that. And this was at the time, at the time, it was very, very important to me. Then I had done a DNA test at the age of 20, which showed that I had a Phoenician gene. And then 22 years old, I finally got a hold of Captain Beale, the legendary Captain Beale. For me, it was one of the happiest days of my life at that time when I met the captain and he told me I could be part of the expedition. I've been preparing for it for about 4 years. We had difficulties with the funding and stuff like that. And when I was 28 is the year it happened. And I put together a little bit of pictures showing my inspiration as a child. What inspired these things? It's not only the cultural aspect, but also everything about adventure. And some of you know these pictures, the Lord of the Rings, L'Île au Trésor, or the Treasure Island, the comic I read as a kid. Then one piece who wanted to become the king of the pirates, and he has a ship that looks a lot like Phoenicia. So then there was Narnia, the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then there's this cartoon called Remy, which is a guy who travels the world, and it's just a lot of these things from my childhood came together in this expedition, as well as some TV series from France. And we actually, during the summer, we got very close to Port Boyard, which is actually near La Rochelle in France. So it was a real pleasure to have all these things connect during the expedition. And here's some pictures from Lebanon, you know, from the north to the south, Tyre and Sidon and Byblos. And then I want to read to you this little bit of a poem here by Gibran Khalil Gibran. And the striking thing about this poem is it's so much, it speaks to me so much, because you'll see from the words, it literally came alive during this trip. He says, in the 12th year, on the 7th day of Elul, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward, and he beheld the ship coming with the mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea. And he closed his eyes and prayed in the silences of his soul. When he reached the foot of the hill, he turned again toward the sea and saw his ship approaching the harbor. And upon her prow the mariners, the men of his own land, that's you guys in this case. And his soul cried out to them, and he said, sons of my ancient mother, you riders of the tides, how often have you sailed in my dreams? And now you come in my awakening, which is my deeper dream. Ready am I to go, and my eagerness with sails full set awaits the wind. If you look at the sentence when it says, how often have you sailed in my dreams? This is talking about my childhood dream when I actually was sleeping and dreamt about it. And then the ship came in my reality, in the real life. And I happened to have met you guys. It was very epic. It was a great adventure. Legendary stuff. And yeah, the idea of getting this, so all of this is the past. But why I had the idea of getting together is, you know, so we could just talk about the future and what's coming ahead. The crazy part is that this COVID-19 has changed. It's almost like the time before the expedition and after the expedition is a different world, right? And now the world we're going to live in might be very different from what we've known before. So just something to ponder about. It's been a real pleasure. I hope we.
Thank you, Remy. Okay, I'm going to just.
So I just want to say, without the friendship that actually kept me going in the last couple days, without the deep friendship that I have felt through the people who actually told me to come back and actually go on the expedition, it would not be possible. So I just want to thank those people who actually encouraged me to go. So thank you.
Thanks, Remy. Okay, Arij is back. Let's go to Arij. Hi. Arij, would you like to say a few words?
Hi, how are you, everybody? Hope all of you is okay. So my experience was so fantastic with you guys in Carthage and in Morocco. I learned a lot of things, and importantly, I didn't join you in sailing, but every day I follow the ship, and so it's like I'm with you. And I hope that we will do another adventure again, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Reed. Okay, and I think I've still got. Let's go next to Ghassan over in Tunisia.
Okay, very quickly, I first heard about this fantastic expedition from my friend Remy Kahwaji. It was, I think, in 2013 or something. And then again by Shema, who contacted me in 2015, I think, and for some reason the project has been delayed. And again, she contacted me in 2008, last year, in June, I think, and she told me, okay, we are in the water and we will be in Carthage in 2 months. So it was really the most stressful 2 months of my life. We had to prepare everything for the crew, for the journey here. We had to prepare whole whole program. It was very stressful, but it was very, very satisfying as well. But I just wanted to say that for us as Tunisians, and precisely for the citizens of Carthage, this expedition is far more than just an expedition. It's just something that really, an event that can just change the course of history. As you all know, the Phoenicians are a remarkable civilization. They're some of the oldest civilization in known history. One of the longest lasting ones as well. They have they've been responsible for some of humanity's most remarkable achievements. They're the instigators of world trade. They taught the world how to navigate. They're the inventors of alphabet, but unfortunately history has always been very ungrateful and very unfair to them. The Phoenician cities have always suffered from vicious attacks, and the most gruesome of which was the genocide against the Carthaginians in 146 BC by the Romans, when they decided to wipe off the city and the memory of the Carthaginians off the face of the earth. And then they engaged in hateful and wrongful propaganda for over 2,000 years to portray the Carthaginians and the Phoenicians as savage and bloodthirsty people and corrupt people, which is absolutely not true. But of course, demonizing the victim would ease the shame of their aggression, of their senseless aggression. So for us, this is an event of tremendous importance. It really portrayed the Phoenicians and Carthaginians as genius people, as people who could sail across the world's oceans when nobody else dared doing it. It's really very important for us. And the fact that the expedition brought people from several countries of the world whose only objective was the adventure and exploration, we think that this is what the Phoenician and Carthaginian spirit is all about. So thank you very much for your courage and determination. We're really grateful for your courage and for this wonderful expedition that will portray to the world the Phoenician, that will finally help shown the world the true face of the Phoenicians and Carthaginians. And one last thing, always remember that you have a home in Carthage, and you will always be welcome anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Ghassan. And it's, yeah, your hospitality in Tunisia was amazing. So thanks for that as well. And thank you for joining us today. Finally, let's go to Shema. I wonder if you can unmute yourself, Shema, because I've jumped on my phone.
So first of all, I want to talk about the highlights. And like Ian, for me, the highlights were helming, except it was day and night. It was one of the most incredible feelings I've ever felt, to be in control of that ship and be, steering it in the middle of the ocean. It's just an incredible feeling of freedom and happiness. For me also, most importantly, the highlight of the trip was the human aspect. All the wonderful people I've met along this journey, the people of Tunisia, the people of the Dominican Republic, the people of Florida. I mean, everywhere we went, people have been incredible with us, and we've had an amazing welcoming everywhere we went. And this was really one of the highlights for me, and all the friendships I've made throughout this journey. And I think this showed us that really borders should not exist. And if a group of people like us can get along so well, from different faiths, from different nationalities, from different social and cultural backgrounds, and yet we all got along so well across this journey, it proves that, as human beings, we should all be able to live together, in peace and harmony. And another thing I'd like to talk about is the ship. I mean, you really get very fond of that ship. I mean, look at me, I still can't leave it, even though everybody's left and the expedition is over, and I'm still feeling strangely attached to it. And my heart, is really feels sad to know that I will be leaving it soon and have to continue with my life. But it has been the most amazing and incredible experience of a lifetime, and I really want to thank from the bottom of my heart the man who made it all possible, which is Captain Phillip, and I think we all owe this to him, and I really thank him a lot. And I also want to say it's incredible that we were able to highlight Phoenician culture and heritage, and especially in those uncertain times where Lebanon is struggling not only with coronavirus, but also with a terrible economical crisis. I don't know if you've been following the news. And I really hope there will be more and more initiatives to highlight Phoenician and Punic heritage, because as Ghassan said, they don't get their fair share in history, and they have given a lot to the world and humankind in general. So I'm very humbled to have been part of this team. I'm very happy, and I will never forget this experience. And I thank you all. It's been wonderful getting to know you and spending all this time with you and sailing with you. And thank you all for everything. That's it.
Thank you very much, Shaima. Okay, I appreciate that we've actually gone over by half an hour. So I'm very grateful to everyone for joining the meeting and sharing their little story and reflection on the expedition and their part that they played. Given that we've gone over time, I'm going to draw a close to the meeting now. And just before I do, I'll hand over to Yuri. So Yuri's waving at me frantically. Yuri.
Okay, now just let people know, we are putting together this YouTube channel. It's going to be youtube.com/Phoenicia. Hopefully, in a few days, you'll know. I think 2 or 3 weeks, you have to wait. And then this meeting, plus if you have videos, if you have anything you have, like you give lectures or give interviews, we can always put on that YouTube channel, so we can share. Everybody can watch. So I'll send later I think everybody already subscribed. But just keep in mind, we're going to have a YouTube channel. We can put all our stuff, our videos, so we can share with the world. That's it.
Yeah, so on that note, in the coming weeks and months, what we'd like to do is ideally host a few more of these meetings and we probably don't have time to discuss this now, but what we'd like to do is conduct a few more of these meetings with perhaps more of a theme, which we can, particularly focus on in those meetings, and then we can upload those to YouTube as well. So if you have any ideas about what you'd like to share in those meetings, and we were talking about whether it'd be possible for Ghassan maybe to talk about purple dye, and we've got so many people that have been involved in the expedition with so many great stories to tell, brilliant skills. So it'd be great if we could continue this kind of meeting in the future with different themes. So if anybody has any ideas on that, I think everybody's all on the WhatsApp group, and you can message myself, Yuri, Phillip privately as well to discuss those things. And likewise, the podcast that I'm working on at the moment is also going to go on the YouTube channel. I'd really like to catch up with more of the crew members. So I've got plans to speak to a few of you already. But yeah, I'd really like to interview you as well for the podcast. So in the coming couple of days, I'll probably be in touch with you so you can share your story as well. Before I wrap up, Captain, do you have any words?
You've just said what I was going to sort of say, that we should, we can broaden this out and do different themes in the future. So I think we've had a great start today. And I'd just like to thank you all, because you guys all made it possible. It was obviously a bit of a dream for me to do this, and but you guys made it all possible, and I'm so pleased that everyone's really enjoyed it and got so much out of it. So yeah, thank you all for that.
Thank you. In the meantime, make sure you encourage your friends and followers to subscribe to the YouTube channel ahead of the content that we're going to put up there. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. That's great.
Thanks, Ghassan. Thanks, Arish.
Thank you.